Hey guys, welcome back to the Reed Homestead. How you doing? Pat again. Today we're going to go over harvesting container ginger. Over the summer I showed you some video on how to grow container ginger. Ours was, video right here. Ours was, I planted about 5 pieces of rhizome about the size of my thumb throughout a metal 5-gallon metal bucket, and spaced them out, the 4 corners, one in the middle, and that was probably midsummer, I think. They really didn't start to sprout. You just put them right just below the soil, and just within maybe less, quarter of an inch, an eighth of an inch, just underneath the soil. And about 2 weeks you'll see them start to sprout. Mine really didn't start sprouting until probably mid-August, so it was a little late in the season. I got a couple of months of growth out of that first season. I kept them in the grow tent, which we converted to a greenhouse last winter. And so by the time, the stalks died back, but by the time spring rolls around, put it back out. The good thing about container ginger is you can move it wherever you want throughout the season. So in the spring, put it right back in the sun, and it sprouted right up. Within a couple of weeks, again, the stalks were growing. So I had a full season of container ginger. I'm about to pull it from the garage. So this year I'm keeping the plants in the garage. It's a lot easier. Some of the things won't make it. It's very dry, so we have a humidifier in there. We have some grow lights. But the ginger finally died back. I pulled the rest of the stalks, and I thought I was going to be able to just get it out one at a time. And that's not the case. So let me pull this out of the garage. I'll show you what we're looking at. This is what, by the way, this is a 20-yard chip drop. In the last video we did was about composting, and you can get free wood chips for your lawn, for your garden, all your bushes, flowers, whatever, just by going to getchipdrop.com, and it's free. You can pay them a tip. They recommend tipping. You pay the arborist website, but ours, I signed up. I requested just hardwood because I'm going to use this with fruit and vegetables for mulching and stuff like that. Use it for compost. So I requested hardwood. We ended up giving them $30 or $40, just a donation to pay the arborist website fees, basically. And within a week or two, they were here. So this is the 20 yards of free wood chip, basically. That's what it looks like. If you got some room in your driveway or your front lawn, you could definitely do that. We're gonna transplant that over to you can see back there, there's the kennel. That's where I keep my compost. So we're gonna move this back there and then use it in the garden at will. So let me go get the container ginger, and we'll go from there. Be right back. All right, so here's the 5-gallon drum that we used. Get some of that excess soil out, and I'll show you exactly what we're looking at here. So like I said, I started off with just 5 rhizomes about the size of my thumb. I put one here, 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 and right in the middle. You can see, I thought they were going to be individual rhizomes, but I think what we're looking at here is just one huge, massive thing of ginger. So wasn't really, I don't know what to expect. First time I've grown ginger in a container, but let's dump it and see what we got. here's the root structure. You can see. Pretty healthy plant, as you can see. That's what it looks like. I could save this and just replant it, but we want to use it to make some ginger bug and for consumption reasons. So let's just break this up. And I'm not really worried about it, but you can see there's some beefy ginger in here. And just kind of work the soil out. There's a little piece. Maybe we'll use that to start growing the next section. Ginger typically will move laterally along the sun path. I think what happened here is because it really couldn't grow along the sun, horizontally. What happened is it grew down and got really, really thick. So let's get some of this. Let me get, this is, by the way, Marbles makes a pretty good sheath. So this is, let's see, here it is. 2 different pouches. Comes with a sharpening stone. I think it costs like 15 bucks. But I got a Camillus knife here. I don't know how deep this is. But like I said, I'm not so concerned about keeping the root structures. We're going to process this for consumption. Let's see what we got here. Got some big beefy roots here, so that's a good sign that you're going to have pretty sizable ginger. Let me pause this so you don't have to watch it all, and I'll show you what we have as the final result. Container ginger you could do right on your deck if you want, your patio, your porch, or your yard. One sec. So the only thing I'm doing here is just kind of working my hands, my fingers, into the root system until I hit the bottom of these ribosomes, and you can see the root structure. It looks like it's just one big hunk of ginger. Just kind of pull it apart. There it goes. So we'll just kind of put these in the basket so we can bring them in the house and clean them up. What you're looking at, these are about the size that I planted initially. So that's what it looks like when you dig it up. Those are the roots. This was all just right underneath the soil. See? There's the ginger. You just kind of break it apart, snap the roots off. And that's what your ginger looks like. Okay? I brought a little brush out here. Kind of clean it up. Okay? So just start from, once you dump it, turn it upside down, start working the roots out. And you'll be able to separate the roots from the ribosomes pretty easily. You see that? Just turn it upside down. Take the roots out. You don't need them. You're not going to use those. I guess you can compost them if you want. And then just gently break them apart. Look at the roots coming off that ginger. Looking for where to go next. And mostly, when you're doing container ginger, the only place for it to go is down. So you're going to have layers. There's a little piece right here. That's something that I'll plant. So some of this stuff will be replanted. I'll probably do it in a raised garden bed or use it as decorative. Stock lining the driveway or something like that, or around the mailbox. You could definitely do something like that. There's a little piece. That's probably one that I planted initially. You can tell because it's got that cut mark right here, and it's dried over. So that's probably one of the parent ribosomes that I planted right there. And you just pull it apart. Just pull it apart. No big deal. Look at that. All this from just a couple thumb-sized, 5 thumb-sized pieces of rhizome, just planted just underneath the soil. And this is what you get in return after just over a season of allowing it to grow and feeding it water, you know, basically just like you would a lawn. You're feeding it nitrogen, you know, never letting it get too dried out. It's a big old chunk. Hang on, we'll keep processing. Okay, so another thing that I'm thinking here is some of these are coming up with the root structure. You can see that. So I'm going to save that to replant. You can see some roots. Obviously the main structure there. So if you can, okay, so there's a root right there. I'll just take that and we'll plant that. Take this one, we'll plant that one. So if you can, you think about it, and you've got the patience to do it, then you could save some of these for replanting in the spring. I'm going to take the rest of that. Okay. We'll take that one for planting. I recently saw a video on how to make ginger bug, how to basically make your own ginger ale, which my wife is a big fan of ginger ale. Or if you really wanted to, you can make your own ginger beer. So look forward to some of that. We'll keep processing. One sec. So what's going to happen is you'll find something like this. Okay, you can see where those roots are coming from. Basically, you've got the wings, so that's going to be usable. That's for consumption either side. So we'll just break them off, and then these got a root structure here, so that we'll go ahead and replant. So we've got these roots already established. We'll plant that in the spring, and that'll grow like gangbusters, I'm sure of it. So you can imagine, you know, what I did is again, you know, a bucket of soil, about 5 of these just under the top of the soil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 in the middle. This is the take. You know, that's probably, I don't know, a gallon of ginger. You know, that's a few pounds, just from 5 little pieces. Thank God for the Camillus knife, because that helped me get under. This one's, I use this for the yard. I actually have a collector's knife that I don't use, but just kind of get under there and wedge it, and then you could use this, something like that, to just break the soil up. You can imagine how good this smells. If you like ginger, there's another rhizome with a root structure. Plant that. You can imagine how good this smells. It smells awesome. So that's some good compost. We'll just let that. I might even use that for seeding. Hopefully you guys are getting your seeds ready. So what we'll do, again, marbles, good sheet. You get a knife on eBay that's used, like I did. That's just for the garden. One sec. Get you back up here. So yeah, if you get a knife on eBay that's used, you'll be able to, you know, go to marbles. A lot of people go to marbles for, you know, knives or axes, you know, but they also sell sheaths. So that's a pretty decent sheath right there. Comes with a sharpening stone. You know, pretty decent place to keep your knives. My little garden pack. Keep utilities, some pruners, utility knife, zip ties, some cordage. I got some bread ties, a lighter. You know, these things cost nothing, basically. So, good to have out in the lawn, out in the garden. That's a pretty good take for 5 little rhizomes. We're going to grow more ginger this year. I'm going to go in, rinse these off and clean out, separate what I'm going to plant for the spring, and we'll do some videos on how to do ginger bug, maybe ginger ale, maybe ginger beer. So, ginger, container ginger, no effort whatsoever. Treat it like you're growing grass in your lawn. Fertilize it from time to time. You can dress it with lawn clippings, water it down. You know, do that maybe once a month, every other week or so. Keep it growing. I would maybe do several containers. You get a lot more. Again, this is probably, that's probably 7 pounds, I'd say. Close to it. So definitely worth the effort. Until next time, you guys, this is the Reed Homestead. Have a great day, and God bless.